Have you ever wondered how websites are made or how hard it is to make one? This video should give you a general idea about how to get started with making your own website. Let's first try to understand how websites are organized. Each website can be divided into two parts, the front end and the back end. The front end is the part that the users can interact with. Simply put, it's everything you see when going on a website: text, images, videos, inputs, and many more. It's easier to get started with, as all you need is a text editor, such as Notepad, and a web browser, like Google Chrome. There are three languages to learn when creating front-end: HTML for creating content and telling the browser what goes where, CSS for styling that web page, like changing the font properties of text or resizing an image, and finally, JavaScript for making the elements inside your web page interactive. Don't be afraid of the fact that you need to learn multiple languages. I find that the best way of learning is by starting with the basics of HTML and building up from there at your own pace, with tons of small projects instead of learning it all at once. The backend is responsible for maintaining information and managing data. It does that using servers and databases. There are a variety of different languages to choose from when working with the backend of a site, such as PHP, Java, Python, or Ruby. For managing databases, some tools used are SQL, Structured Query Language, or MySQL. Similar to the front end, it can be easier to learn the very basics of one of the picked languages and then build up from there. You will need a server when managing the backend. The tools that you'll use generally depend on what type of website you are trying to make. You probably will not need a backend when making a portfolio or a presentation website, but you'll definitely need one when making a social network, for example. Let's quickly go over how to create your first website. You will need to do these steps every time you want to create a new webpage. Start by opening up a text editor. I'm going to use Notepad as it's already installed on all Windows computers. Inside, type down some text. Later on, we will change this to the actual HTML and link it to CSS for styling and JS for interaction. Go to File, Save As. In the newly opened window, add file name, type in whatever you want, but add a .html at the end. This is really important as it tells the browser that the file is not just an ordinary file, but a web page. At Save As type, select all files so that it isn't interpreted as a text file. Once done, we can test our website. Find the place in which you've saved the file. The file should display the logo of one of your browsers, so double-click it to open. If it does not, or you want to open it in a different browser, right-click and go to Open with the browser name. And you just created your first web page. In future videos, we will add actual HTML that will make the website organized and look better. Subscribe now and click on the bell so that you can be notified when I post a new tutorial on HTML. I also have other cool stuff on my channel, such as short and entertaining devlogs.